journalists who we read and we appreciate have learned from Morrison. And the people who we admire as theorists and philosophers have been taught by Morrison. There is no contemporary Black theory without Toni Morrison. Historians, right? Historians write history differently because of Morrison. So that house is like, it's a big house, right? There are many rooms in that house. Absolutely. So thank you, Mariama, for reminding us of that.
Yolanda and Carolyn.
So I was going to say, one of the things that I learned from Morrison, and I really actually learned it from her, was that a very short sentence can carry a lot of weight. 124 was spiteful, full of a baby's venom. Like, you know it, right? Like and I remember thinking about that, which was that when you tell the truth, when you are a prophet and a seer, you actually don't have to do everything and explain it 5 times or whatever, but that a simple, sparse sentence can do an incredible amount of work. And she's reminding us about the simple things. She's reminding us about the beauty in simplicity. Because of course she's descended from people, like I said, who made something from nothing. And so that beauty that comes through, like poetry, right? Those 4 or 5 words that do so much work in them. The only thing I'll experience, and this is my fangirl moment, when Edwidge Danticat started reading her favorite passage, I was like, okay, mind blown. Danticat is reading Morrison, and I think I'm done here, and I just think we should just all wrap up and go home, because it is what it means to watch one generation of Black women writer pay tribute and homage to another generation of Black woman writer, and to see that it's just love. It's just love. That I don't have to dim my shine. I don't have to be less of a writer or a scholar. I don't have to do anything different, but that there's just love here. And that's just such a powerful, powerful lesson that I think we take away in terms of Morrison.
Thank you. I think that's true of all of you as well. Carolyn?
Well, I just want to say first, how wonderful this conversation has been, and I want to thank all of the participants who've come and been a part of this conversation. In my own experience with Morrison, I was always so moved by the way Morrison loved us, the way she loved Black people. And I grew up in the Jim Crow South and was a child in the midst of that court order for desegregation. And always the undertow of that effort is that somehow there was something less and not right and not good about where we were. And when I read Morrison, she was, more than anyone else at any given time, affirmed the community that I was in and that I was a part of it. And I was always so thankful for that view, the view to love yourself even when others were not. And she's carried that through in all of her works. And so I like to say that Black Lives Mattered to Morrison, you know, right from the start. And it's been kind of our own Bible when we've read Morrison, and we know that. And you can see that when she's in confrontation with others, when she's writing the lyrics, when she's writing the novels, or speaking truth to power as she was in her teaching and her scholarship. And so I really thank her for that. And that's been a motivator for me in so much of the work that I've done. And I think this session today, which is really a balm in some ways, I mean, we really are here today acknowledging her leaving us, at least the physical presence, and what that meant to all of us on that day last August. And so this conversation where we get to talk about her writing and her teaching and her thinking has in some ways renewed and restored us. And that is what she's doing for us, even in her absence. So I think Yolanda's point about her joining the ancestors and continuing to take care of us is so well taken and so right for this moment, and for which I am entirely grateful.
Well, on behalf of the Society, I want to thank all of you who joined us, to invite you to visit the Society's website at www.tonymorrisonsociety.org to become members. I want to be clear that the membership is not limited to academics. There are a number of ways that you can join the Society if you are interested in events like this one and others, everything from the Language Matters Project to the Bench by the Road. A couple of different ways that you can be members: an annual member or a sustaining member or a life member. I also want to say a special thank you to Carolyn, who, as I mentioned before, is the founder of the Society and the board chair, to Yolanda and Farah, Edwidge and Amani, Deborah and Mariama. All of us are flooded regularly in our inboxes with requests to do things. So I'm especially grateful that each of you said yes, and yes very quickly. A special thank you to Mariama too, who played multiple roles. She was on the planning committee for this, but then also stepped in for us. We want to send well wishes to Carla Holloway, who certainly wished that she could be here with us. Also want to say thank you to Howard Ramsey and Angela Mitchell, who are also on the planning committee. And thank you to Jamisha Relaford and Catherine Saunders, the graduate students who helped to coordinate the event. Lastly, we thank all of you again for joining us this evening. We invite you again to visit our website, to join with the Society, and to continue to honor the legacy of Toni Morrison. We're honored to have come together with you tonight to celebrate Toni Morrison's light, her legacy, and her enduring presence in our lives. Thank you all, and good evening. Oh, one quick housekeeping thing. I was supposed to do this before. I apologize. The question about the recording. As soon as we get permissions from all of our panelists and make some modifications in terms of adding the permissions for the clips that we shared, all of which are on the internet anyway, but we still want to do this correctly, then we will post it, if appropriate, on the Society's webpage. Thank you again, and good night.
Good night. Thank you.
Bye, ladies. Thank you.